Happy end of the work week, everybody. This is Napalm Dawn here on Games for Gamers. And we are logging in on Friday after PvP has ended. It is about almost 3 hours after the Deathlock PvP season has ended. And I'm going to be going ahead and logging in and looking at my rewards. I was definitely saving it for the video, no matter what was going to happen, but unfortunately, the game did not work most of the afternoon, so everything that is going to happen from here on out is going to be a surprise. Today's background music will be in the description as the best metal dubstep mix of 2013. So, as you know, the Infiltrator's flight suit does not work as intended. And that was here up on the news. It has been flashing most of the afternoon. However, I do believe it had a red banner for a little while. Let's see. Due to this, frustration experience will be awarding. So we will see what the extra rewards are and where I placed. The last time I saw it, I was around 1930 or 1940 something, which is my highest rank ever. By close to 200. My previous highs have been in the 17s, and this season was in the 19s. So let's take a look at what I got. So we have our 100k silver, we have our 10 gold, we have the Lil Boomer. It is a one enemy, 3 round cooldown pistol. It starts cooldown. It is ranged, energy, electric, and explosion, so that's a lot of things. It has a high balanced PvP bonus, guaranteed to hit against targets with a static charge. Attacks against magnetized targets are guaranteed to critically hit. Deals extra damage to people with crackle, ozone, static, and charge. Kicks like a mule, so this might be nice in time for the group boss. However, the listed damage is very low, but that might be because we are looking at PvP. You'll notice the power level says 65, so let's see what this looks like equipped. We have the broken Hydra looking suit. Remember, these things do have to be researched. They will not appear in your inventory. And then we have Deathlock. So there he is, and of course the 2 Spider-Men are the missing spots. Listen, Agent, I'm not just some machine man assassin. I have a life, a daughter. I want to make this world a better place for her. That's something worth fighting for. And I finished at 1930, so congratulations to me. I finished roughly where I thought I was going to. So let's take a look at some of the end battles over here. I last won at 1945, dipped to 1930, came back up to 1946, and then dipped to 1930. So I actually did not lose too much after I lost control of my character, and all of my battles today were wins, and I did not actually lose until this one yesterday, which I believe was a Pesty. I think this was a Pesty Enchantress team. No, this was a QuickLord. Yes, this was one of those scrubby fucking QuickLord teams over here that absolutely blasted one of my characters really early. I think it was my agent. So as you can see, down the stretch was doing pretty good, maintaining the middle 1900s. And I was going for about a 1930 finish over here. So my ending team was, and this was my offensive team the entire season, it was Iron Fist, and he had his special ISO. And that is the heartfelt one. I had knocking over here. Now remember, this does not apply to his pre-counters. The thing is, he does not pre-counter with Kunlun combo. He actually pre-counters with that interruption, which is a hidden undiscussed move. It's called Combo Breaker, so anything you slight on Kunlun, despite the visual similarities, does not work. On his level 2, I put on Pressurized. For his Ferric, I have Lifting Spirits, and I have Manifesting to give crits to the entire team. He is decked out with mostly Mercurials and Steadies, and you'll see his final stats here. High in the evasion, attack, and accuracy, low in defense. And on Molly, I will point her out, and I have one of my favorite all-time slotted ISOs for her, and that is Candy Sweet ISO. This is a phenomenal ISO for Molly. It goes through runs where it procs a lot, and then it goes through droughts where you really don't see it for a few matches, but when it works, it is great. It is sometimes a free exhausted. You sometimes get the Ghost, which causes Cower and causes a semi-phased on your people. And Taffy is the absolute best. Taffy is phenomenal in the current meta as it shuts down Team Kuurth over there. It shuts down all the counters, infiltrators that might be pissed off from your agent. So this is a really, really good ISO, and it came in very handy. Now, of course, it's a random nature, but it was very good. You can see her final stats are decked out, health, attack, defense, and accuracy. The evasion is low. Her other ISO this season was defensive fighter. Melee attacks increased defense. It had previously been Skull Thumper. It had also been big and fast at one point. However, she only really tanked for the one turn, and she didn't seem to get a whole lot of big and fast procs. On her level 1, I have an increased chance to hit, which actually, with my scroll, I should change this. I need to take this out and put something else there, like potentially Pulpy. Because the worthy are capable of bleeding. Obviously, Luke Cage is not, but Kuurth would be. And thanks to the scroll, I do not need to really worry about this that much anymore. Powerful attack on the level 2. Manifesting, giving Epiphany on the level 6, and the level 9 is Bursting to screw up those shields. I will say that for the most part, the Invisible Woman teams are taken care of by the scroll. This scroll means that even if the shields are up, I can still exhaust them, but popping a shield is still pretty handy when you take into account the propensity for people to pick that blaster suit. So let us go ahead and look at my defending team, and then I'll pop into the rewards. I'm not too sure where the extras were, and you can't click the reward button, so I settled on Hugins Eye, the weather control device, the scroll, and the mystic. My guess is that the scroll and the weather control device was used in round 1. This means that your mystic is shit. Your mystic will not work against my defensive team. And then whatever I did from the weather control device would automatically take effect. And then probably every turn after that was weather control and mystic. Yes, I am susceptible to being exhausted. However, since this has a 2-round cooldown, this won't be up for a little while. And using almost any one of the 3 functions of the weather control device, even if exhausted, is pretty good. And honestly, this team has been the best team in a season and a half. Ever since I was forced off of Pesty and Rulk last season, the Victor season, these guys have done the best for me, and this equipment has done the best. I have experimented around with some other gear and team, and it didn't work too well. Molly gives all 3 of these people that bruiser bonus in the first round, and of course, it will drop off if there are no scrappers, but for round 1, this is a beefy team. For Luke, I will go ahead and show you what I did with him. I ran, of course, tag team. This is a relatively melee-heavy team. I tried to cater to melee attacks with a Gauntlet Caress and a Thunderbolt Glove, but that didn't work out too well. I have the Wide Open on his level 1, which will increase the melee damage of the team, including himself and Molly. On Ragnarok and Sokkum, I have Incapacitation. This is douchey, because we know that this is his pre-counter now. Applying Incap to people who can't prevent against it, thanks to the scroll, is douchey, but you know what? It works, and you gotta do what you gotta do. Worldbreaker, of course, I have Eruption, which helps them with the flyer teams. And we know what Molly is kitted out with, so let's come out of the PvP realm. Oh wow, 2 of my group bosses dropped off. That sucks. I actually had about 5 of them, and I only have 2 left to fight. Well, let me go ahead and open this 10 over here. As you can see from my collection, I only have 1 left. So, let's keep our fingers crossed over here. And no dupes, no dupes. Big bucks, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, and... duplicate. And nothing interesting, so it looks like the bonus bar is filling up, and unfortunately, I only have 2 to fight. It looks like I will be taking on a blaster. Alright, that's great for the Black Knight Storm team. And let's take a look at this one over here. This is going to be Scrapper. Alright, Scrapper's not too bad. That means I can maybe use the Null and Kuurth team. So let's take a look at the rewards, and then we'll go ahead and fight that Blaster one. So here he is. Here's Mr. Deathlock. Not to be confused with Deathlock, the most metal man ever. And not to be confused with Fixer, which... yeah, Fixer definitely still has more of an evil cast to him. So, Bullet Sponge takes significantly less damage from gun attacks. To be honest, I can't say I've seen too much of that this season. Really haven't, and there's not too many characters that are using it. Deadpool's got some, Punisher's got some, Rocket Raccoon, Iron Patriot. Combat analysis applies combat data to any enemy that attacks, reducing accuracy, evasion, blah, 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 blah. So, all you Skeptic lucky people, Skeptic and Twisted Gift is something I was not lucky enough to get, but I got 2 contingency plans. Combat analysis, good for you guys. He is also cybernetic, so he can't bleed, burn, shield, or be made obsolete. And he has high crit resistance. He's good on health, attack, and defense, low on accuracy and evasion. So you're probably going to kit him out for using the PKB method, health, attack, defense, and accuracy. His actions, Biotech SI Rifle. Combat Assessment, deals extra damage against targets with combat data. It's ranged and gun, very high chance to hit, low chance to crit. Biotech Laser Mount, ranged energy and tech. It hits all enemies, drops some of the hit. It exploits shields, it melts armor, and it shield breaks. So that's sort of interesting. I hope they calculate the exploiting shield on the stack before the shield breaker. My cat Arthas has decided to join me here on the desk. Suppression Grenade, 1 round cooldown, quick action, so it will be up every single turn. Everybody is exhausted, everybody is neutralized, so this is Anti-Tactician, phenomenal for blasters, not seen really since Havoc. And it is also good against bruisers, which is his natural feeding ground, but oh well. Biotech Launcher, 2 round cooldown, all enemies. It is Boombuster, and it removes buffs. So since we know he works with combat data, let's go ahead and come out of full screen real quick, and let's discuss some of the gear that works with that. We know the Skeptic, and of course a lot of people were lucky enough to run the Skeptic. People still use that as it helps with magic, and that helps with some of the things that Kuurth does. It helped with Gamora, who I honestly think all but dropped off this season. Gamora's Groots, did not see a lot of them. Invisible Woman Molly's, less of them. I saw Molly scattered around with more partners. Pesty Rulks, Pesty Enchantresses, Pesty Nulls, Null and Kuurth, of course. Molly and Iron Fist, Null and Iron Fist. No real Magnetos, no real Iron Patriots. Some Avengers. QuickLords, definitely saw some of them. QuickNuls, saw a lot of them. Saw some people trying to pull off the Star-Lord groups or the Quick groups without quite the right attack skew over there. So, I'm going to come somewhat further back in my gear. There's the soldering iron, which bears some resemblances to the Skeptic. If you notice, the soldering iron's kind of nifty in the fact that the downgrade, much like Victor, is now bordered. So that shows you right now that this will pierce the Mystic and it cannot be removed. So if you're really getting upset with a lot of tech gear, downgrade is an absolute good way to go. Got the freezer at one point, really had been shooting for that. Let's see where my combat data gear here is. It's quite out of date at this point, so it is pretty far back. Should be getting around it somewhere. There's the MODOK Psychic Amplifier. Let me take a look at something here. There's that Future Blaster. There's my Cosmic Cardinal, Chitter Chatterbox. Great weapon, always love this one because it does flanked and bleeding, which is, flanked is really key. We're getting around it somewhere. There's that Adhesive X launcher. There's the Stark set. Aha, here we go. So we have the Encephalizer. It consumes combat data to have a chance of causing several debuffs, including mind control. The chance increases with the amount of combat data. We have the famous reboot, which lots of people like. The Quick Action Boot, which doubles the amount of combat data on a target. And it lowers evasion. Oracle and Encephalizer gain True Strike and Guaranteed Hit. You essentially become Cyborg. You become immune to Bleeding, Burning, and Chilled, and you get the high crit resistance. I definitely have some more of that over here, as I actually bought the whole set. I don't know where the rest of it is. There's my old Vexing Pistol. There's the 40th Century set, which is absolutely really awful. I got a little better when Kang came around, but... Cat... Oh. Wave to the fans, Arthas. There you go. Alright, so where is the rest of my combat data set? Combat remote logging data set? Code injection. Okay. So here is one other piece of it, the combat analyzer. It is quick action. It causes combat analysis on enemy that attacks you, and you gain a random buff. That means, I think one of the last items... Yeah, here it is. The Guided Repeater. I did see somebody try to pull this off in a Hawkeye and Kate team. Unfortunately, thanks to HAIF, that's laughable. So, this was around the same era as the data set, but it's not part of it. The actual final piece is over here. It is the Oracle. You exploit machines, it removes all combat data for extra damage, and it applies combat data to enemies who have none, and it causes incapacitation. So there are some of the things that you can use with Mr. Fixer 2.0 over here. We'll scroll over sometime around here. Yep, so there's some of the gear that you can go ahead and use with him. I'm going to jump ahead to my agent. And we are going to take a look at the new pistol where I can find it. I would hope that it... So there's my 2 contingency plans. There is the little lesser arachnid quick action item that I've won. I think that was called Lil Boomer. Let's see if Type Ahead will find it for me. There it is. So as you can see... Whoa! Jesus Christ, wow! Look at that damage jump! 5,000 top end. And that's just with... They're gonna... I guarantee you, they're gonna nerf this. That's huge damage, even before the exploitation. Oh, ho, boy. That will definitely be worth the kicks like a mule. And then there's my 1 reboot, and then there's my original reboot. So we'll go ahead and slot that. And let's see if we can take it out against that group boss over there. So I want to run the Mystic. I want to run the Staff of Storms. And what else do I want to run there? Not the weather control device. What else did I used to like? Ah, that. Okay, so we're gearing up to... Hey, Kate's due up for another thing. Unfortunately, I cannot research the suit as I am currently researching one of these items, so let's visit that group boss and I will show you what I use for the blaster. After I apparently go back to the flight deck so I can go back to full screen. Okay. So, let's take out that Lil Boomer. We have to go back to Black Knight. He's here. And then we have to go back to my Special Tactician Storm, who I actually was supposed to have moved back to a blaster, but I accidentally didn't. Okay. So, let's try this gun out over here. And I do apologize that I cannot research and show you the suit, but as we know, the suit's broken anyway, but, you know, we'll see. And today's video, by the way, is going to be ad-free thanks to the music that I'm using over here. Okay, so since he's going first, I'm going to go ahead and protect the team. Now for Storm, I'm not going to start with the Quick Action Protective Shroud because Elemental Mastery is not up. I'm going to rely on the extra turn that I'm sure he'll do. So I'm going to start with the AoE to get her Mastery, and now we're going to get the extra turn. Have I told you that I hate this boss? Because I hate this boss. This guy is such a knob. Alright. So, Black Knight's doing his job. He's doing it somewhat well. Let's go ahead and go to covered so that he continues to do his job even better. And of course it's the dodge, because why wouldn't it be anything but the fucking dodge? Now you'll notice I'm not trying to counter the web. This guy is fortunately close enough to death that raw damage will take him out. So we've got the static rolling on him. We will go back to tanking. Storm will do a nice little zap. And there's the big damage. And now we will go ahead and set up the tornado, which will of course continue to do more damage and help protect the team. So we've already pushed him into lockbox. We have the shroud helping us out already. And here we go, folks. Here is the Lil Boomer in action. So let's see what this does. Medium damage. Nah, it wasn't that impressive. Let's see what happens with the kicks like a mule because of the tactician bonus. But, okay. So there was the Lil Boomer. It's not really that super impressive, but hey, it got the job done, and the boss is dead. And won a lockbox, so let me go ahead and proceed to the Scrapper version. And we will change up the team a little bit. We will go ahead and get rid of Black Knight. And honestly, you know what? I could go with Valkyrie over there because of her being a tank and getting that whole static charge thing. But instead, I'm going to go Spell Heavy. And where is she? Oh, there she is. So we will bring in the Worthy. We will switch over to the Bruiser suit. And we will leave the Staff of Storms in. We'll leave the Scroll in. And I do know what we will do. We're going to totally cheese him a little bit. And we're going to bring in the Crooked Branch. Otherwise known as the Magic Explosion. So let's get rid of Lil Boomer. We will go ahead and type in Crook for Crooked Branch. Alright, back to full screen. So, let's take this team out. So I will tell you right away that Kuurth is going to do Love Me, so that he punches himself for all his damage, and then after that it will be Fear Me. I will World Break if I go before the Agent. Yes, okay, this is beautiful turn order for me. Hopefully he does not one-shot people, but look at that, he's already in lockbox mode. Hopefully Kuurth counters. She doesn't, but he does. And my Agent jumps in because of the suit. He tanks the Annihilation. Okay, so we are going to start with the Crooked Branch. Oh, he did get a big and fast. That is awesome. So all of this is now creating stacks on the boss, so we know he's not going to live. And this is magic also, aside from being electric. So this will cause stacks. And it's all going to heal my Agent. Now, I could do magic over here by going Road to Ruin, but I want to do Love Me, just to see if he'll punch himself out. We'll do Worthy again, and... bam! Watch this. Ka-thunk! Beautiful, isn't it? And hey, what's another 42k silver? So, unfortunately, we only gained 2 lockboxes today. I would have had potentially 7, maybe. So it looks like we are not going to be able to drop in one of the Spider-Mans tonight. So in looking at my progress over here, 1 of 3 over there. This is currently what's being researched. And I have to use Superior Spider-Man, who I must say I like the looks of better than Ultimate Spider-Man. So there you go. I don't really know what the extra rewards are quite as of yet. But my research has got 37 minutes, so I guess I'll research the suit tonight and see how broken it is. Take care, everybody. I hope you got the ranks that you were looking for. And I hope you did everything you wanted to do in PvP. And let's see what the extra rewards are that they give us. Take care, everybody.